Cottonwood Inn. It's located in Empire, Michigan. It's a town of about 400 people located in northern Michigan along the Lake Michigan shoreline where the Sleeping Bear sand dunes are. But the story starts in Norway. Andrew and Randy Roen, who immigrated from Norway. When Andrew moved to the area, he started working at the sawmills. He eventually opened a saloon that he ran for about 30 years, and he acquired a 133-acre farm and orchard. They raised 5 kids. 2 of them got married, moved away, but 3 of them remained bachelors and lived their entire lives together. And that's where the meat of the story is, between the 3 sons, Andy, Ben, and Sievert. The 3 brothers lived in the house until the day they died. Well, at least 2 of them did for sure. And the mystery starts in 1977 when Sievert, who was 75, had an argument with his brothers and went missing, never to be found. He was officially declared dead 8 years after he went missing, only when Ben and Andy were found dead inside the home.
Sievert was getting senile. I had 2 run-ins with Sievert. One, he came to town, he went down to the end of the street to Fred Salisbury's Ace Hardware. Said, the boys are trying to get me and I need help. So Fred and Sievert stopped back up to my station, and Fred says, they're trying to get Sievert and they won't let him back in the house or something. And then Fred said, will you go up there with me? So I said, yep, let's go. So we went up, walked around the house, knocked on all the doors, nobody answered. So we went to the south end of the house. There's a double doors where you can go into the basement, but we didn't know you couldn't get from the basement to the main floor. So we wandered around the basement. I said, Fred, did you hear that? We heard footsteps upstairs. So we walked out of the house, went to the north side of the house, which that nice porch is. I walked up on the door, knocked on the door, and Ben opened the door. Sievert was standing off the porch. And he said, God damn it, Sievert, I told you, don't bother us when we're working. Now go out in the orchard and rake or do something. And Sievert was shaking so violently. It was quite intimidating. But then he disappeared in July of '77. A lot of people looked for him, but we never found a trace of Sievert.
If you dig into the story, everybody speculates on what possibly happened. Some people said due to his mental state, he walked away, maybe he got lost in the woods and passed away there. Others say that maybe he fell into the cistern, and some even claim that Ben and Andy had something to do with it.
A good friend of mine I played golf with for 30 years said the boys always told him they were going to bury Sievert in the septic tank system. That would have been a great place to put a body. He'd decomposed completely. I thought he might have been in that old silo that was out in back. And I put the door up in that silo and that thing slipped down and about cut my fingers off. But, nope, he's not in here either. So no, we'll never know where the hell Sievert went.
8 years after Sievert went missing, he was finally declared dead. And that happened when his 2 remaining brothers, Andy and Ben, were found dead inside the house.
Of course, the smell when you open the door was pretty hard to deny. Look to the right, between the kitchen and the living room, laid Ben, looking right up at that golden eagle on top of a coin-operated music box. And I went back toward the bathroom to look, and Gary said, I'll go check the bedroom, and he found Andy in bed, bloated pretty bad. He'd been dead almost a week, probably.
Theories say that Andrew died first due to medical conditions, Ben shortly after because Andy wasn't there to help him. Shortly after their deaths, people were hired to come into the house, inventory all the items for auction, and found over $100,000 worth of cash. Now, the unsolved portion of this story alone is enough to captivate people, but the paranormal history is even more insane, considering the amount of people that passed away in this house. Ben and Andy, the nurse passed away in the house, the grandmother passed away in the house, and Randy, the mother, her funeral was held in this house. People staying at the Cottonwood Inn claim they've heard thumping, they've seen apparitions, strong EVPs have been captured. Some say at night you can hear a music box playing. By the way, there's no music box whatsoever in this house. In recent investigations, people have been scratched, and more than one psychic has been drawn to the basement, where there's a rumor that Ben may have had something to do with Sievert's death, and that Sievert was buried somewhere on the property, possibly in the basement itself. So with that, you're on board for one of the wildest rides that we've done on this channel yet. The Cottonwood Inn in Empire, Michigan, where psychic medium Tammy Schuster and I didn't just stay one night, we stayed 2 nights in a row. And yes, it's absolutely insane. Enjoy.